Like most basketball players, I didn't have a family member, a parent, or a mentor who was able to show me the ropes in basketball. And because of this, I had to make a lot of mistakes the hard way, and these mistakes taught me valuable lessons. All of these lessons that I learned are extremely valuable for basketball players, so make sure that you listen to all of them. The first lesson is to use positive self-talk. Last year, when I was working at my old job, I was training a professional basketball player who had been playing pro for over 12 years. I was putting him through a workout, and in that workout, we were working on moves, counter moves, and getting up shots. Throughout the workout, I'm noticing that he's talking to himself. If he'd miss a shot, he'd be like, "Come on, JG, make the next one." If he made a shot, he'd be like, "Good shot, JG." So he was just talking to himself repetitively throughout the workout. And while he was talking to himself, he was talking to himself in third person. Talking to yourself in third person is called distant self-talk. When doing distant self-talk, it's like someone else is talking to you. Think about it, if you're a hooper and you're working out and somebody's talking to you positively, it's gonna make you go harder. So make sure that you're talking to yourself positively and you're doing it in third person. And you want to speak positively to yourself because 80% of our thoughts are negative and we have the same 95% thoughts on a day-to-day basis. Using positive self-talk can help us combat these negative thoughts. There's a phrase that goes, "We are what we repetitively tell ourselves," and that's a fact. Very often I hear athletes say things like, "I suck," "I'm unlucky," "I'm unmotivated," just overall saying negative things to themselves. And if you're an athlete and you say things like this over and over and over, you're gonna start to believe it. It's important that you monitor your thoughts, and every time you have a negative thought, you need to kill it. Also, make sure that you do not think negative in game, in practice. Do not think negative when playing basketball in general, because it's just gonna make you play worse. Thinking things like, "Oh, is my coach gonna take me out? I just made a mistake. My jumper feels off today. I'm having a bad game," are gonna make you feel unconfident. And players usually feel like this after they make one or a couple mistakes in a game. So instead of having negative self-talk, you need to be practicing positive self-talk. Lesson number 2 is be consistent. One of the best things that you can do as a basketball player is stack great days. A great day is where you worked really hard and you feel accomplished at the end of it. You want to stack these great days over and over. That's what's going to separate you from the 99% of other hoopers. Not too many hoopers stack great days consistently. Most hoopers are mediocre. Hoopers will have a great day Monday, bad day Tuesday, great day Wednesday, bad day Thursday, good day Friday, good day Saturday, bad day Sunday. A majority of hoopers are not stacking these great days consistently. So make sure that you're stacking these great days to put yourself ahead of the competition. Another thing that most hoopers do not do is stay consistent with their routine. I was at my old job and the number 1 ninth grader in the country was on the gun. He was on the gun shooting shots, waiting for his workout that was about an hour, 30 minutes away. The owner walked up to him and asked him if he wanted to get in some skill work with me. He said he had to make 500 shots first. At that moment, he could have trained with me, but since his daily routine is to make 500 shots, he did that first. Most hoopers do not have that consistency. They go to the gym and say they're going to do something, but when someone asks them to play pickup, they play pickup. Most hoopers are not consistent to their routine and they're not consistent in general. Consistency is much like building a house with bricks. In order to make that house better, you have to consistently stack bricks. In order for you to get better as a basketball player, you have to consistently work. Steph Curry shoots 500 shots a day, 3,500 shots a week, 14,000 shots a month, 168,000 shots a year, over a span of 15 years. That's 2.5 million shots. The reason why he's such a great shooter is because he's consistent. The steady accumulation of consistent efforts is what's going to get you closer and closer to your goal. Lesson number 3, confidence is key. If you're a basketball player with no or low confidence, you're not going to reach your full potential. An example of a hooper with no confidence is a hooper that when he makes a mistake, he looks over at his coach to see if his coach is going to take him out. Another example is a player who plays really good in pickup or practice, but come game time, they play terrible or nowhere near where they should be playing. Next sign of a hooper with low confidence is someone that's overly passive and passes the ball too much. If that sounds like you, or you're just a hooper who knows that they don't have any confidence, you need to improve it. Now, there's many ways that you can improve your confidence. The main way is just putting the work in. Confidence comes from preparation. And if you work on a different move, different scenario, different read, tens of thousands of times, come game time, you're gonna feel confident and it's gonna feel like second nature to do it. If you put in an insane amount of work and you trust that work that you put in, you're going to feel more confident. Another thing that confidence comes from is winning. There's a quote by Alex Hormozy that goes, "You become confident by having an undeniable stack of proof that you are who you say you are." By you consistently getting small wins, meaning you do what you say you were gonna do, you're gonna become more confident. After you set out to do something, whether that's to swish 300 jumpers, whether that's to do an intense strength training workout, after you do that and you get that small win, you're gonna feel more confident and you're gonna feel better. So make sure that you hold up your word and do what you said you were gonna do. And if you're that basketball player that looks over at your coach anytime you make a mistake, wondering if he's gonna take you out, you cannot dwell in the past. That mistake that you made is in the past. Don't get down on yourself and allow it to affect you. There's only so many things that you can control, and if you make a mistake, you cannot control it anymore. So do not get down on yourself and focus on what you can control. If you're that hooper that plays way better in pickup or practice, it's because you let your environment dictate how you play. And whether you consciously know it or it's deep down in your subconscious, it's because other people are watching you and you care. LeBron recently just said a quote. He said, "It's just basketball." And by him having this approach and not caring as much, it lets him be more free. When you put all that pressure on yourself because people are watching, you're gonna start to overthink. And this overthinking is gonna mess up your decision making, which could lead to you making more mistakes and you thinking negative. So take this with a grain of salt, but stop caring as much and you could find yourself playing more confident. Lesson number 4 is getting live reps. In high school, there was a period where I was doing 3 skill workouts a day, and these were quality skill workouts. But the thing was, over time, I wasn't seeing results from these skill workouts. I spent a lot of this time working on finishing over taller defenders. So what I would do is I would do a lot of floaters, hook shots, same hand, same foot layups. I was just working on finishing on taller defenders by myself in the gym. When it was time to play the best player in the state, who was 6'10", I had trouble scoring against him, even after doing all of this skill work to work on scoring on taller defenders. So when this happened, I realized I needed to do something differently. And I thought back and realized that I had only been doing skill work by myself. I hadn't really gotten a lot of live reps like that. So I started getting a lot of skill work in with taller defenders. My best friend was 6'8", so I would just do a lot of competitive finishing drills versus him, and I would play one-on-one with 3 dribbles versus him. During this time, I made sure that I was working on what I'd worked on in skill training versus live defense, which was my best friend who was 6'8". He wasn't 6'10", but even 6'8" did the job. But by me doing this and me actually getting in live reps on a taller defender, come game time, when I played that 6'10" defender, I was scoring and finishing on him with ease. So whatever skill that you're working on, you have to find ways to do it versus live defense. Don't get me wrong, being in the gym by yourself locked in is great, but you want to get in reps where you have live defense in front of you. There's different ways that you can get up live reps. One thing that I've seen some NBA players do is have normal people guard them, but with padded blocking guards in their arm, trying to block and stop them from scoring. By them having someone with padded blocking guards guarding them, they can still work on what they need to work on, but it's going to be harder because someone's going to be able to contest them easier. The common way that most people get in live reps is playing pickup. When you're playing pickup, work on what you need to work on. So if you've been working on shooting off the dribble all week, when it comes time to play pickup, you need to work on shooting off the dribble. The problem is most hoopers don't do that. They just do what they're good at and they just play pickup how they normally play. Overall, you want to make sure that you're getting in live reps and that you're also doing skill work. Having a healthy balance between the two is going to make you way better. Lesson number 5 is do not get distracted. If you don't separate yourself from distractions, your distractions are going to separate you from success. Your distraction could be your phone, women, video games, friends, whatever your distraction is, you cannot fall victim to it. One of the things that I've seen a lot is hoopers becoming addicted to weed and then getting caught, and then they have to go to JUCO because of that. There's nothing productive with smoking weed, so do not do it. I've also seen hoopers get distracted with women. Whether she's toxic, she just adds unnecessary drama to your life, or it might just be you. Maybe you just can't stay focused with a girlfriend. You should never let a woman distract you from your purpose or your grind. That goes for friends too. You don't want friends that are toxic, friends that want you to play the game all day, every day, friends that are going to try and get you to go to parties and do drugs. You don't want those type of friends. You want friends that are going to try and support you and friends that are like-minded so you guys can better yourself together. You want friends that are going to hold you accountable and that want the best for you. You do not want friends that are going to distract you. Also, do not get distracted by this right here. This is one of the worst distractions. Use this to be productive and do not fall victim to scrolling on social media. Whatever your distraction is, you need to identify it and do your best to not get distracted by it. In order to become the best version that you can be, you want laser focus. Lesson number 6 is make goals. Goals give you a sense of direction and purpose. Generally, you want to have one big goal that you're working towards. In addition to this one big goal that you're working towards, you can have sub goals that are also very important. For example, if my big goal is to get a full ride basketball scholarship, my sub goals could be to average 20 points, 10 rebounds next year in the high school season, to get a 40-inch vertical, and to get a 4.0 GPA. Those sub goals bring me closer to my big goal. Also, each one of your goals should have a specific deadline. Along with having a goal and a deadline, you need a plan. The hoopers that fail to plan to fail. If you have a goal and a plan, you're way more likely to succeed. One of the best ways to plan is to create action steps. Action steps are what's going to bring you closer to your goal. Let's say I want to increase my vertical by 5 inches. My action steps could be to dunk a lot, jump train 3 times a week, do isometrics, and to lower my body fat. By doing those action steps, it's going to bring me closer to my goal, which is to add 5 inches to my vertical. I remember when I was in high school and I was cool with the best senior in the state. One of the first things that he had me do was write down my goals. So I wrote down the goals and I put it in a place where I would see it every day. And because of that and me actually doing the action steps, I started achieving my goals. Lesson number 7 is create a schedule. Being a student athlete, you're occupied a lot with school and your sport, so you want to make sure that you get the most out of your day. With a schedule, you allocate a time for certain tasks, which helps you better manage your time. When you know what you're supposed to do and when you're supposed to do it, you're less likely to get distracted and you're more likely to actually do it. Making a schedule also helps you remember things that you're supposed to do. For a lot of y'all remember y'all supposed to work out, y'all supposed to do the skill work, but y'all forget about certain things like homework and studying for tests. If you would like a free resource that helps you make a daily, weekly, and monthly planner, make sure that you click the link in the description. With that resource, not only can you make a schedule, but you can write down your goals and action steps for those goals. Link in the description for that free resource if you want that. Lesson number 8 is to focus on the process and not the destination. The man that loves walking will walk further than the man that loves the destination. So let's say you want to play college basketball. By you loving the goal and the action steps that are going to get you to playing college basketball, you're going to make it farther than just loving college basketball. Fall in love with the actions that are going to bring you closer to your goal, not just the goal. The actions are what's going to get you to the goal. You should love everything about the process, the early morning workouts, pushing yourself to exhaustion, the bad games, the good games, the blood, sweat, the tears. Love everything about the journey. And whatever your goal is, whether it's to play college basketball or to play professional, the goal doesn't just stop once you get there. Most likely, once you achieve that goal, you're still going to keep going. By you loving the process, you're going to be more grateful and actually appreciate it more. You only have so much time to play basketball, so make sure that you cherish it and enjoy it. Because there's a high chance that you're going to look back at your career and be like, I really miss it. So cherish the moment and love the process, because that's going to add more fulfillment to your journey, and also it's going to make you grind even harder. There you have it. Those are 8 lessons that I've learned along my basketball career. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and leave a lesson that you learned while playing basketball in the comments.